Hello students, welcome back. Now let's start with the second chapter of class 12, that is the lost spring. Here the lost spring itself gives you the idea. It tells you that about the spring season, the cherishment, the enjoyment have been lost. So now who have lost that enjoyment, who have lost that happiness is described in this chapter. The author of this chapter is Anis Jung, who has tried to highlight the plight of life of poor people and the children who are exploited either by their uneducated and poor, helpless parents and the society, or who employ them as a laborers. Anis Jung, she have tried to just tell the pain what this poor children are going through. They are suffering. The reasons for that can be the illiteracy or the family who cannot afford them the education, and even the society who is playing the vital role in the life of this kids. And the another one most important factor is the people who employed them as a laborers, who asked them to do the work for them. So now spring of life refers to happiness, as in the starting, the title of the chapter when I described here, it said the lost of springs. Here the spring means happiness, the enjoyment, the cherishment which have been lost. So now here you came to know that who have lost that cherishment? The poor kids. Lost spring is lost happiness. Now here the author God tells us about some places where she came across this kind of children and what problems they are coming across, what things they are facing. It has been discussed by the Anis Jung. So let's go. Simapuri is on the border of Delhi where about 10,000 families of rag pickers live. Now here the word rag pickers. Now the rag pickers means the kids who collect the dump things, right, especially from the garbage. Okay, even the another name for the rag picker is chiffon, CHIFFONNEIR, the chiffon, who collects the scrap of paper or the refuse clothes or refuse stuff by us from the garbage or from that litter, right? That are the rag pickers. You have seen in the near the garbage there are the kids or the old ladies or the women who carry the bag on their shoulder. That are the rag pickers who collect the stuff from the dump, from that garbage. Now they have come from Dhaka, Bangladesh in 1971 as their lands and houses were devastated by the storm. Now devastated means here destroyed. Devastated means destroyed, spoiled. Devastated means destroyed or spoiled. Okay, so this people, this kids, especially whom the Anis Jung met, she is talking about that they came from Dhaka, Bangladesh in 1971. What reason for coming from Bangladesh to Delhi was that their lands and houses were destroyed, devastated by the storm. As the storm, the natural disaster has destroyed their places, that is the reason they have to leave and they have to shift to Simapuri, the border of Delhi, on the border of Delhi. Now settlement at Simapuri. How come they settled in the Simapuri? As if you are going at some of the places, so that some places are having their own occupations, their own professions which they are renowned for or they are known for. As if, for example, if you are living in the Morbi, so the Morbi is known for its tiles industries. As if you will come in the Morbi, obviously the people who want to earn their bread and butter, they will find out the work in the tiles industry, as it is renowned, it is known for that only. So same, wherever, as per your locality, wherever you will go, you will find that kind of work which is known for that kind of profession or occupation. So same year, settlement at Simapuri. Now the kids who have came from the Dhaka, how they have settled themselves in the Simapuri. Not kids, the entire family. Huts, muds, houses, tarpaulin and tin roof, poor sanitation, no safe drinking water, no sewage, compelled to live substandard life in the slum. As they came from the Bangladesh, Dhaka, where they were having their own lands and houses, but it was destroyed. So now when they reach, they are supposed to live in the slum area because they don't have that wealth, they don't have that money. So they were forced to live in the slum area. They started to live in the slum area where there are the huts made up of mud, tarpaulin, and the roof are made up of tin. No proper sanitation, no proper water, drinking water, and even the sewages, whatever we call the drain, or the facilities where the toilets have been drawn. So no sewage facilities are there. So they were forced to live with that substandard life in the slum area. Though they are on the outskirts of Delhi, they are living in a miserable life which is no one can match the life in Delhi. Obviously they were living in the outskirts areas, the outer portion of the Delhi, so nobody can compare their life to them as they are living in the slum. Whatever we call it as a Jhopadpatti kind of life, that kind of lifestyle they were living. Both children and elders are rag pickers. Here the main point which they have highlighted, that both children and elders are rag pickers, as they don't have the other work to do. Either the elders or the children, they were rag pickers. Garbage hold different meanings. Now here whatever the rag pickings, whatever the stuff they used to collect from that garbage, that collection from the garbage is having the different meaning for different one. That is different for kids, and the garbage is having the different meaning for elders. What it says for elders, it is a mean of livelihood where they can live, and but for children it is a gold mine. They get surprises, coins and currency notes. See the difference, that for elders it is livelihood, it is a mode of for their bread and butter or for survival, right? And for children it is gold mine. Gold mine means where they get the money or some stuff which they have never ever seen. Generally what we do when we do clean our house, when we clean some of the things, at the time we don't pay attention, and even we throw the things which is useful, by mistake we throw it. But as they get this thing from the garbage, from that dump, it is the gold for them, it is something precious thing for them, because they have never ever seen that kind of things. Even number of times we throw the toys, for us that toy is not important, that is not that much useful for us, but as soon as that toy is received by that child, by that rag picker, it is really the precious one for them. So the garbage is having two different roles for different people. For elder one it is the mode of livelihood, and for the children it is the gold mine from where they can get the things which they have never ever came across, or sometimes even that kind of junk which they can sell it into the market and get money out of that. Okay, so that kind of things they can get. And children are deprived of schooling, fulfilling their dreams and wearing shoes. Now as already it has been told that they are living in the slum area, so they are deprived of, they don't have to go to the school, they are not supposed to go to school, they are deprived of, they are waived of, they are not forced to go to school, even they are not supposed to fulfill their dreams, even they are not supposed to wear the shoes, as generally you have seen most of the rag pickers, they are moving barefooted, naked, they don't wear the chappals or shoes. Okay, they are the gang of rag pickers who move in local areas barefooted with semi-naked body, collecting and carrying bag full of rags. Right, there are the group of peoples, either the young ones or the elder ones, they move in a group in the local areas, and from one garbage to another garbage they collect the things and they carry it in one bag. They are having one bag loaded on their shoulder, and they move barefooted with semi-naked body. It's clearly told that they move barefooted. Don't wear the shoes or chappals, and semi-naked body means the shirt or the trousers which they are wearing, they are either torn or not properly dressed, right? The way we are dressing, they are not dressed in that sense, because they are wearing the second hand clothes. So they are moving barefooted with semi naked body, and even they are carrying the bags which are full of rags. Now this is Sahibe Alam, whom the Anis Jung met. The lady, the narrator, the author of this chapter, whom she met, that was Sahibe Alam, a rag picker whose name means Lord of the Universe. As generally Lord of Universe, what does the idea falls in our mind? That he is the Lord of the Universe. That means he is having all luxurious facilities in the life. He is living the life full of he's living the life full of luxuries. He's having all the materialistic facilities, just as if he's living in the palace, as he is the Lord of Universe. But here it's an ironical, he is a rag picker. When the Anis Jung asked the name to that boy, that what is your name, when she used to meet her regularly, when she started meeting her, she started knowing him. At that time she came to know that what is his name, the entire complete name, the full name was Sahibe Alam, which means Lord of Universe. But here it's an irony that he is totally contrast of his name. He is not living the life of the luxuries. He is just the rag picker who is collecting the dump, who is collecting the things from the garbage. He is a 10-year-old, has a dream to go to school, wear tennis shoes and play tennis. He is having the dream that he is wishing to go to school, wear the tennis shoes and to play the tennis, but it is the unfulfilled dream. The dreams are not fulfilled. It's not possible. It's just a dream for him. Gets a discarded pair of tennis shoes. Even he is getting, when he's wearing a discarded means thrown or the unused or the refused pair of tennis shoes which he was wearing, and even it was not going with his clothes. Later works in a tea stall, rupees 800 salary, but is no more master of his own, has no freedom. Then after a few days, as he wants to get the money, he started working in a tea stall, where the tea stall owner used to give him 800 rupees per month. Apart from that, he used to get the meal of the day. Still he was not happy. The reason was, now he had lost his freedom. He is now not his own master. He can't do his things by his own. He has to work under someone's guidance. Now he's an employee. That is the reason he is thus unhappy. The weight of tin canister is heavier than the bag of rags. Now why the weight of tin canister means he used to carry the cattle of, or the can of that milk, and he feels that the canister of milk is more heavier as compared to that bags of rags which he used to carry on his shoulders. The reason, because he have lost his freedom. Next is about the glass bangle factory at Firozabad. Now another incident which have been shared by Anis Jung was about the glass bangle factory at Firozabad. It is a hub for bangle making. As already while explanation I told about the Morbi, that Morbi is known for the tiles. So same over here, even if you will go in the Nagpur is known for its oranges. So same here, Firozabad is known for its bangle making. The bangle making, if you will get the bangles, you will get it in from Firozabad. So it is the hub of bangle making. Now working place, what kind of atmosphere is in Firozabad? Bangle industry. Small huts, dark, no light and very poor ventilation, high temperature, full of smoke stains of their shanty town, stink of garbage, hovels of disintegrating walls, unsteady doors, no windows, very narrow lane, and overcrowded with humans and animals. Now this is the description of the Firozabad where Mukesh used to live. Here in this chapter where the Anis Jung was having the discussion with the kids. At that time she talked with the Saib Alam. At that same moment she came across, she met to a boy named Mukesh who was from Firozabad, and it was the occupation by generations to generations to make the bangles. And once, just as Mukesh forced to Anis Jung to come to his place, at that time uh, Anis Jung, the narrator, came to know about the place, that how, in what kind of place they are living. There is, the kids are working in the high temperature where the Bengal industry is there. They are working in high temperature where there is no light, less light, even the small dark huts. So she came across the stink of garbages where the Mukesh was living, that slum area, and even the ovals of disintegrating walls, the walls which were crumbling, not properly mend, and even the doors which was opened by the Mukesh when he kicked. At that time it opened and it was making the sound, that is unsteady door. So the place where the Mukesh or the other kids live, it was quite shabby. Along with that, the lane was very narrow. It's quite difficult to move in that. Even the crowded place it was, where even the humans and animals used to live together. That kind of place was shown by Mukesh to Anis Jung. Thousands of adults and 20,000 children work there, risking their eyes and health. And when she went into that industry, where at that place, at that time she came to know that thousands of peoples are working, and even they are losing their eyesight. Along with that, even they are infecting their brains and the lungs, as they are unable to take proper breathing, less air, as there is no light and very poor ventilation, so they are not getting proper air breathing, so they are suffering from lung diseases, eyesight issues, and even the brain damage. And dust of polishing glass bangles adversely affect their eyes and lungs. Even the dust, as while they were making the bangles, the glass which they are polishing, while polishing, the dust is removed from that process, so that dust is in the air, and that dust goes into the lungs of the kids or the elders who are working in that industry. It is affected badly to their lungs as well as to their eyes. Now, economic conditions very bad. Exploited by sahukars, money lenders. Sahukars means money lenders, middlemen, politicians, police, and bureaucrats. Now, as if they are working, so they are exploited by the sahukars, even the middlemen, as if they thought that they should make their Bengal making or Bengal selling as a corporate, but the middlemen or the politicians, they have exploited them. Due to that, it's not possible for them to work it in a corporate manner. All the profits are bagged by them. All the profits, whichever the profits used to get by the Bengal men, it used to be grabbed by the this kind of middlemen like sahukars or the politicians or even the policemen. Workers are not allowed to form guilds or workers' union and are beaten and exploited, as they are not supposed to form their guilds or the groups or their own union where they can fight for their words. As if they will raise the voice, they are beaten or punished or treated badly. They are compelled to lead substandard, unhealthy and deprived life. They were forced to live this kind of substandard life. Now, as already told, the possible hazards of this Bengal industries, that accidents, obviously when they are making, number of accidents they came across. Loss of vision means eyesight. Skin burns, yes, as we have seen while preparing the bangles, they are coming across that fire rays, so the skin also burns. Bronchitis, already I told that there is less air, no ventilation, so the lungs are going to affect and they are going to suffer the lung disease, that is the bronchitis. Physical and mental weakness, obviously as being a child whose age is to play or to enjoy, he is forced to work in the Bengal industry. Why? Due to the survival, that if they won't work, they won't get the food to eat for that bread and butter. And even the genetic problems due to exposure to the chemicals. Yes, even as if the parents are coming across, and if the mother is pregnant and she is working in this Bengal industry, so might be they could also face some problems. So the child who is going to come to the life will have that kind of problems. So this kind of hazards they are facing. Now about the Mukesh, as whom the Anish Jung met. First we have talked about the Sahib Alam, who was working as a rag picker. Now about the Mukesh, who is also the member of this troop kids. A child labor and family profession of Bengal making at Firozabad. Who is Mukesh? He is a child labor in the family profession. What a family profession is? Bengal making at Firozabad. He is daring and different from other young children of Firozabad who have submitted to age-old miseries and traditional profession. He is something different. He is daring and different from other kids. That the other kids don't raise the voice or they don't dare to dream. Here he is daring and he is dreaming that he don't want to carry out the family profession of Bengal making, right? And he wants to be a motor mechanic and he wants to be his own master. Here when the Anish Jung was talking with the kids at that time, Sahib Alam told that he is working as in a tea stall where he have lost his freedom. At that time the Mukesh is saying that I want to be a mechanic, a motor mechanic, and I want to be my own master. I don't want to lose my freedom, right? So workers do not get even 2 times meal every day. Yeah, the workers, they are unable to get 2 times of meal every day, right? Workers, it includes of the tea stalls or the Bengal making. Here actually Mukesh is talking about the Bengal making, that the workers, those who are doing the profession, the family profession, someday it happens they are unable to get the 2 times meal also, 2 times food, that is the lunch and dinner, whatever we are doing it, they are unable to get 2 time meals also. So I want to be a motor mechanic, I want to be my own master, and he is ready to travel long way to the garage. As he wants to be the motor mechanic, he is ready to learn these things and to move towards the garage, and even he will learn the car driving too, right? So now here are the questions based on this explanation. Just go through the questions, that who is the Sahib and what is the irony about his name. Next question, who are the rag pickers of Simapuri? How does the meaning for garbage differ from elders and children? Why the 2 meanings are there for what does the garbage mean for the elder and what does the garbage mean for the children? Third question, why is the life of slum dwellers means the people who live there, slum dwellers of Simapuri quite different from the life of people living in Delhi? The comparison of the kids living in Delhi as well as the kids living in the Simapuri, the slum of Simapuri. Next, fourth question, what are the conditions of the rag pickers, how they are living? Next, what is the Sahib's dreams, what he want to be? Now let's move on to the sixth question. Why is Sahib unhappy while working at tea stall? What was the reason for being unhappy though he was getting the 800 rupees per month and a meal a day? Why still he was unhappy? Write down the reason. Next, who is Mukesh and what is his ambition? Next, describe the life of people of Glass Bengal factory of Firozabad. What kind of life they are living? The Bengal factory, the Bengal industry, the people, what kind of life they are living and what problems they are coming across. Next, who exploits the Bengal workers of Firozabad? Now when the people of Firozabad, the Bengal making people of Firozabad, when they were thinking of working as a corporate, who exploits, who spoils the Bengal workers of Firozabad? Who is exploiting them? Write down the name of them or just tell about them. Next, 10th question, what is Firozabad famous for? What is the Firozabad known for? Next, describe the working condition of Bengal making at Firozabad. Now here, next question is, in what condition the people of Firozabad work? What is the condition while they are working in the Bengal factory? Right? Write in detail about the working condition of that Bengal making factory. Hope you all get the chapter. Still having any doubt or any queries in your mind, you can drop a message. See you soon in the next explanation. Till that time, be safe, stay home, stay safe. Bye bye.